once you have obtained it and you've now gotten the score, let's say it's 600, there's going to be factors that are going to influence that score on a monthly basis, okay? How much credit you have versus what you owe, so your limits versus your balances, that is a big factor. That's almost 30% of your credit score, okay? So if you have a $10,000 balance and you owe $9,000, you're using 90% of that credit. That's not good. So each month that you have that, that's going to negatively affect your score, okay? So you want to keep those balances 30% or below, all right? So if you have a $10,000 limit, try not to have any more than $3,000 on that line, okay? That's one. Then your monthly payment history. Are you paying it on time every month? That is like 30% of your credit score too. So that weighs, I think that might even be more, but that weighs very heavily on a creditor and your score itself, your FICO score. And then also the length of your history. So if you're just starting out, that's going to be something you're going to have to develop over time. But for someone like myself that's had credit for over 30 years, it's going to take a good bit of time, year, 2 years, 3 years, to establish a lengthy credit history. And then once you have that, you're year or two in, and your lenders see that you have a positive history for at least 12 to 24 months, they're more than likely going to loan you what you need as far as your loan balance. If you're going to borrow, if you're going to refinance, if you own a home, if you're going to buy a home, if you're going to buy a car, the car dealer will look at you very favorably. So those are some things that you can think about as far as what is going to influence your credit score once you have it. Okay. Now, this is something I did not know. You always want to start out with a positive score. You do not want to start out the way I did, which is you get the credit, you get your credit card, you max it out, and then you pay it late. So I did the three things that I just went over with you: monthly payments, length of credit history, and balances versus limits. I failed all three. It was an F, an F, and an F, which is why it took me forever to get my credit score to a decent number. It took me about 7 years to do that. So I did not pay on time. I maxed out the card, so I had a $200 limit, and I owed $230 because they let me charge more than my limit was, and I just got the card, so it wasn't even like I had a lengthy history. So don't do that. If I could say something to my audience, don't do that. Start out at a positive number, so you're starting out here. It's like. Shit, I'll get into my college history. Hang on, you want to laugh? I'll give you a good laugh. So when I was in college, I was on academic probation twice. When I got into my 4 year, I went to 2 year school, graduated there, and then went to 4 year school. And I already had an associate's in my back pocket. Now I was going for my bachelor's. The first two semesters in my 4 year school, I was on academic probation. My first GPA was like a 0.7, and the next GPA was like a 1.1. So immediately in that, I'm starting out. My cumulative GPA was not even 1, to the point where the dean, I'm sitting in the dean's office, and he says to me, like, do you even want to be here? This is your money you're spending. Why are you even here? I didn't realize the cumulative effect of starting out so bad. It took me 3.5 years to get that GPA up to like a 2.4, not like a 2.5. I think I graduated with like a 2.5. It took me 3.5 years to do that because I started out behind the 8 ball at less than 1 cumulative GPA. So each semester you do, like, say I got I think I made Dean's List once. And a Dean's List I think was only a 3.0 or 3.2, something like that. One time I did it. But you're starting out, and so then the next semester I promised him, I said, I will never be on academic probation again. I said, just give me another shot, and let me monitor me each semester, and they did. So the next semester I got like a 2.5, and then my CUME went up to like a 1.2. And then the next semester I got like I think it was a 2.9 or a 3.0, and then my CUME went up to like a 1.5. Like, do you see how slow that incremental change was positively? Because I started out so low and so bad. I was so bad. Don't do that. Start out high. Come into the game, come into it at a high number. And if you have a hiccup one month where you pay something 30 days late, it'll pull your score down, but not down to the level of like this. If you have a 750 and you pay one late 30 days, it'll knock you to like a 700, but you're still in that top tier because you started out so high. Don't do what I did and start out low. So that's how cumulative GPAs work in school. That's how your credit score, your cumulative FICO score is going to work when you're building and establishing credit. It is imperative that you have a good score, because what it's going to do is give you the absolute best program a lender will have. You will get it because you've shown the ability to pay on time, and your score now is in the top tier. You don't want to be in the middle tier and low tier.